Hey, good evening, Facebook. Reporter Tyler Fingert here with Fox 10 News. We're in our Fox 10 News Tracker. We are in the Lowe's parking lot on the Beltline. I'm holding our mic real quick just in case I need to drop it for any reason. But let me just walk you through. So some people were telling us that Mobile Police just arrested somebody in the scene you're looking at right now. I'm not entirely sure what is going on, but I was told by somebody who saw it happen that they were placing somebody in cuffs. That may be a detainment of some sort. I'm not sure what happened that prompted this. But it's definitely, that's why there is a police presence here. I do want to flip this around and just show you this because I do think it's interesting, and it is hard. I have a mic clipped to me, so I can drive while doing this, but I am not able to move our camera, so I am hoping you guys are able to see this. The front of the Lowe's here, you will notice something. There's all these trucks, and then also they have these cinder blocks right here off to the left. I'm turning the car. So basically what Lowe's did, just in case, I guess, because of the expectation that there may be some threats to their store, they have blocked everything up into this area, trying to limit the ability of people to get in. And it's definitely something that I guess may save some of these. They're just obviously concerned about that. Sorry about that. I had to turn off the mic for just a moment to take a phone call from one of our producers. So what we are seeing here at Lowe's is that they have literally put up cinder blocks and used vehicles to block their entrances. They have actually even put up like what appears to be concrete powder, like concrete mix, inside their doors too, for even more protection in case somebody would try to drive a vehicle in. Obviously that is not a normal thing that would happen here at a Lowe's and Home Improvement store when they are closed. But this is obviously extraordinary circumstances, that threat of possible that protesters may try to possibly do something. There is a lot of people out here tonight as they are driving around this area in the Springdale Mall area, the Beltline area. I'm just doing a U-turn. I'm walking with our photographer is walking out here, so I'm just trying to keep him company as he's walking to get closer to one of the scenes that is happening here that I showed you a little bit ago here on Facebook Live. But still very active out here. The message right now, they're asking people to please go home. That is, you'd imagine that that's the case right now. They want people to leave and go home so that everyone can go safely. There's a lot of blue lights, a lot of police working this as they are trying to get a handle on this situation that is unfolding right now here in Mobile. Hey, folks here on Facebook, reporter Tyler Fingert with Fox 10 News. Thanks for riding along with us here on our Fox 10 News tracker. I'm just meeting back up with one of my colleagues real quick, and we're going to continue to show you around the scene here.
Mic check, Kaylee, can you hear me okay? Mic check, I'm trying to grab a safety vest right now. And that mic is on. Okay, we're good, he said. Hey, we're on Airport Boulevard, just coming, basically just getting off the exit just before the mall. Can you see? I'll probably step out of the way so you could show everything that's...
First, we thought possibly it was like a car that wasn't stopping, but when we were watching it for a little longer, you saw that the officer was like, hey, turn left, and as soon as that car complied to get him out of the parking lot, the officer drove away. So they are really trying hard right now to keep people away from some of these businesses because the concern is that people may try to break and enter into it and maybe steal something. So the goal is to keep people away from some of these, I guess, higher priced or hotter targets. And that is a huge concern right now after there was some escalation earlier, about an hour and 45 minutes ago now, and we are just going around the Springdale Mall. If you're familiar with the area, there's a Sam's Club in this area, and you'll see right in front of me, that's one of our Fox 10 News.
Vandalizing areas. Our Morella Porter standing by live right now on Airport Boulevard near the mall. Morella, tell us what's happening right now.
Hey, Byron, we're just near the I-65 exit. Traffic was stopped for a while. We just actually came up on this. We saw a bunch of police cars racing to this location, and we kind of overheard an officer say that this possibly could be the end of a police chase. Michael Warwick is here with me, and he said that he heard an officer say, where did the chase end? And I also saw a white truck as we were pulling up to this spot right here because we knew there was just some kind of commotion going on. I saw a white truck, and it looked like the driver maybe was kind of losing control. I'm going to step out of the way so that you can see here, but the car was kind of swerving back and forth, and then it stopped a little bit to the right here. If we just pan a little bit over, just about there, the car stopped, and I saw someone literally jump out of the car, and then a few minutes later I saw Mobile police officers grabbing a man by his legs and his arms, taking him into custody possibly. And then Michael Warwick also said that someone else was in handcuffs, so possibly two people detained here, and officers were really just trying to get the traffic moving again and get people out of this area. Obviously a very busy street, and as you can see, cars are still lining up and police officers are trying to get them to leave the area, Byron.
Well, I'm also seeing some police activity not only in the mall parking lot itself, but also Cruisers are now eastbound on Airport Boulevard, and we know that there was a police presence on the I-65 service road near the Dolphin Street exit. Tell me what you're seeing right now. Where are those SUVs going?
Yeah, Byron. They're going further down on Airport, closer to the I-65 South exit. I guess that would be approaching or going away from downtown.
Right.
Towards West Mobile, it looks like, Byron.
Okay, so a large police presence in West Mobile on Airport Boulevard as we continue to follow the events of today. The protests that happened downtown, the standoff with police that ended with some protesters blocking the on-ramp to I-10 westbound, and then police using tear gas to disperse them there. Then some other protesters decided to take their protest out to West Mobile on Airport Boulevard. It was a small protest, suddenly grew much larger, and then at one point, protesters started throwing bottles of water at Mobile police who were watching the scene, apparently all triggered by a man being arrested while driving recklessly, according to what we heard from Chief Batiste. He was pulled from the car, and that seemed to trigger some people in that crowd of protesters there in that parking lot right there off I-65 and Airport to start throwing bottles of water at police officers who were standing by. And at that point, there was also some sort of gas, I believe, pepper balls that were released into the air at that point, trying to disperse the crowd, and they did. But since that time, Mobile police have been up and down Airport Boulevard chasing people, apparently, who are either vandalizing or wanting to vandalize or gathering in large groups in different parking lots. All right, so Morello, looks like traffic's flowing again westbound on Airport. What else can you tell us at this point?
Yeah. It is, Byron, and it looks like the officers have pretty much all left this area, at least. I really can't see any from where I'm standing. I actually see some in the parking lot of the mall, but they're no longer sitting on Airport just in front of us. A police officer is pulling up to the right here. There is a police officer coming up. Looks like he might be making a U-turn, though, but pretty much this area has cleared out a bit from when we first got here, with the people stopped on Airport for a while, Byron.
Yeah, well, apparently MPD is going to be very busy tonight because some of the people have dispersed from different areas but now have moved on to other areas. And as Chief Batiste told us live on our air during our Fox 10 News at 9 newscast, that MPD was going to be trying to cover those areas, try to find those people that might be up to no good. And he did refer to, Morella, I don't know if you heard him or not, he did refer to outside agitators. So apparently the police are aware of this.
Yeah, that's right. When I was talking to him earlier in the day, he did refer to that. I do see a bunch of police officers right now racing down Airport. Not sure where they're going, though, if you can see that, Byron.
Yes, I can see that very clearly.
So we might try to get in the car.
I was going to say, if you and Michael wouldn't mind just jumping in the cruiser and just seeing what you can see westbound on Airport. But please be careful. A lot of people wanting to see what's going on. Of course, we're pulled over there on the emergency lane, but please be careful out there in that traffic. Some people may not be paying attention to what we're trying to do here.
All right, Byron.
All right, Morella Porter.
Okay, we're going to hop in the car now, and thank you.
Surely. Morella Porter reporting live from West Mobile. She and Michael Warwick are going to be moving on from that point, trying to figure out what else is going on. All right, Tyler Fingert, I understand, is live with us as well. Tyler, can you hear me?
Yeah, hey, Byron, good evening to you. Sorry, I do hear myself. Hopefully we can get that fixed. But right now we are currently driving on Airport Boulevard. There's been reports in the area about different police presence is not only at Bel Air Mall, but also at the Walmart on the Beltline and the Lowe's in this area. Currently, we are on our way to Walmart in Tillman's Corner. There is I guess, an active, possibly a situation unfolding out there as well. We're getting reports from, I guess, viewers warning about huge crowds out there. And so police are, I guess, in the process of trying to get people to scatter there. So we are on our way over to that area to just see what is happening on another part of the city. This is all where we are currently. I'm about to get on I-65 southbound to then hook up with the 10, Byron. But let me just walk you through with what we've been seeing over the last about hour and 10 minutes since I probably checked in with you guys on air. I've been on Facebook for the last about 30 or so minutes. At the Walmart, there were a lot of people driving around, getting very close to the store, police trying to get people off the property. The interesting thing just down the street at the Lowe's is, I guess they were concerned about protesters possibly trying to go after their store. They actually put cinder blocks, cement mix, and also piles of wood, not only blocking the outside of their store, but also the inside of their doors. So I guess probably to prevent, I guess, if a car would try to drive through into the store. And I thought that was a pretty interesting move, that they were that concerned about that they would do that. But pretty much throughout Mobile right now, there are a lot of police lights on as they are police are scattering throughout at different stores trying to keep people from, I guess, breaking in is the best way to say it, because that's what the concern is right now, that some of these protesters are doing things they will be breaking the law, or maybe not these protesters, but other people in the name of this protest possibly trying to break the law, and that is a concern right now for Mobile Police, Byron.
Well, as you
I'm not sure if you have any...
Right, I just wanted to say, as you discussed with Chief Batiste in the interview you had with him during our 9 o'clock newscast, he was very emphatic when he said, we want people's voices to be heard. We want them to be heard the right way, and this is not the right way if people start resorting to violence, if they start resorting to arson or looting. He goes, the message is lost. And I thought that was a terrific statement by our police chief, Lawrence Batiste.
Yeah, and he did say, I mean, that was his message pretty much all along. I was before he finally got out to that area, I-65 and Airport, where that protest started probably about 7:30, that it was very peaceful. And he was texting with me back and forth, like we do during certain situations. Instead of bothering him by calling him, I'll just text him to get some information about about what's happening. And he was saying that they are going to let these people protest because they're doing it peacefully. But then all of that deteriorated very quickly, and that was the concern, I guess, going into tonight after what happened earlier this afternoon downtown, that some of these protests could become a public nuisance would be a term that police would probably use, where they are either possibly defacing property or trying to, and that's what police are trying to prevent. I have not been able to reach out to Chief Batiste or Public Safety Director James Barber within the last about hour or so, but when I do get a free moment where we are stopped, I will reach out to them and see if they have any message right now to the community. But I would have to imagine, Byron, it's please go home.
Yeah.
Your message is, as you said, he told us earlier, it's gonna get lost if it's resorting to a situation where people are going to begin to loot, cause damage, and do other illegal acts. And that's what police are going to have to then step in to try to keep the peace, because at that point the public order starts becoming struggling on a word here for that, becoming disorder, Byron.
Now, real quick, before we let you go, Chief Batiste twice has said on our air that there are outside agitators among the protesters. So I was just hoping that when you get to talk with him, I mean, in talking with some people, very, very close to the Mobile Police Department over the weekend. They intimated to me that they were prepared. They thought that there may be some of these outside agitators coming to Mobile. I would just like to see if Chief Batiste would expand on that when you finally get a chance to talk with him about that. Our Tyler Finger reporting live as he heads toward Tillman's
Well, I will
corner.
definitely.
All right. The people in my ear are telling me to go ahead and stay with you, Tyler. So we're going to go ahead and stay with you as you head out to Tillman's corner and the possibility of some sort of police activity there.
Yeah, and that is a very well a possibility. The fact that a viewer or viewers did reach out to us. We are constantly checking our calls, our newsroom working around the clock right now to talking to viewers who are calling us, people who are messaging us with different pictures and scenes that they are seeing in their community. And that's really, I guess that's the best thing to tell people at home. If you are at home and you see something and without going out and about and you want to share it with us, go ahead, email it to us, go on our Fox 10 News app, share those pictures, and maybe and if you believe that something illegal is happening, make sure you call police because they will want to hear from you in this situation. We're approaching the exit to Tillman's Corner, so we should be knowing shortly whether what police or what we were told is actually is what
Police activity at Walmart is what you were told,
I'm
right?
so sorry.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. It's been a long day for
I'm so sorry.
No. It's been a long day for you, Michael Warwick, Marilla Porter, our photographers. They've done an outstanding job. Tyler, while we're talking to you, we're seeing scenes from earlier this evening when you were there on Airport Boulevard at the I-65 exit with the protesters that were standing there. And as we mentioned earlier, apparently police were trying to pull a man over in front of those protesters for driving recklessly, is what they shared with you. When he refused to get out of the car, they took him out of the car and apparently detained or took him into custody. I believe Chief Batiste said they did arrest him, and that seemed to trigger the protests. Some of the protesters start to pelt the officers who were just watching over the situation with water bottles, and that's when things begin to escalate a little bit more there on Airport Boulevard, eventually with police using pepper balls to fire over the crowd and to get them to disperse. And this is what has happened since then, that some did disperse, some have gone home, others have decided to go elsewhere, spread out elsewhere around the city. And I can see the blue lights in the distance. So I hope there's nothing.
Those blue lights are over towards, not at Walmart.
Right.
But I do see police at Walmart. I do not see any large crowds here as we pull up. They're pretty much blocking the doors. There's about two or three police officers here with their cars blocking the front of the business over here, the Walmart. Let me just pull into a parking space, because at that moment, once I can safely park the car, I can actually move our camera around and show you without having to move our vehicle.
Yeah, Tyler,
since I am the only person in here right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Tyler, go ahead. We want to go back to Michael Warwick. He is now westbound, I believe, on Airport Boulevard. And Michael, tell us what you and Marilla are seeing there, please.
The Airport Boulevard exit.
Yeah, I'm looking at my maps right now, Byron. We are, I can tell you right now, a direction of Airport Boulevard is now shut down by police. They are diverting traffic onto I-65. I want to show you, if we step out here and look up the street there, they're pushing traffic southbound on I-65 and have those lanes blocked. That's going to be going east. Well, yeah, that would be going eastbound
down
diverting
Airport,
traffic onto I-65 south. Yeah, you're
why?
exactly right.
Do we know?
Think about that for a second.
Yeah,
So,
Michael, I'm sorry. Do we know why they're diverting traffic? What seems to be the issue here?
we were just up in that intersection, and we tried to get with police who were beginning to do that. It was right over the hill there where that police chase ended. My guess, and we're waiting to get word from the police chief who kind of pulled in here a few minutes ago, as you see these new police cruisers come in. Because of the constant activity up and down Airport Boulevard, that, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a guessing game at this point why they would do this. Are they now opening it back up? It looks like they've just reopened it. So,
right. And those cruisers are now pulling back into the parking lot.
That was just a momentary. This is the parking lot where that initial protest on Airport Boulevard was.
Right.
And this is where a couple of police officers, when we were at the end of that chase, told us to go. And I saw Chief Batiste and Barber in here like 5 minutes ago. So I don't know if they're about to get ready to talk to us. We also, just under that Babies R Us sign is where we saw somebody being put into the back of a police car. I don't know if that was related to that possible chase that just ended up here. So this is a very fluid situation. There's a lot of traffic on the roadways, it seems like, for a Sunday night at this hour.
At 11 o'clock.
The amount of traffic that's been going up and down Airport Boulevard, 11 o'clock, people honking and shouting out their windows at us and at police. It's just a very, it's more traffic than it should be at this time of night. So that could have something to do with it, Byron, but we're kind of just waiting to hear an update on everything that's gone on. We're also getting word of a scenario down here at the mall again that we're about to head to, Byron. So at least we know now that Airport Boulevard is back open. Back to you.
All right, Michael, thanks very much. Michael Woolrick reporting there off Airport Boulevard at the I-65 exit. And apparently police are staging in that parking lot where the earlier protesters were for a period of time, moving their protest from downtown Mobile to West Mobile there, that particular area. And that's the area where apparently an arrest was made by police for a driver that was, as Chief Batiste said, was driving recklessly, refused to get out of his car, and police took him out of his car, cuffed him, and then took him away. And at that point, the protesters who were there, the crowd had grown very large, and some people in the crowd started throwing plastic bottles of water at officers, and at that point, the officers responded and fired pepper balls into the crowd, which is not the same as tear gas, but as our own Tyler Fingert shared with us, that the pepper balls were very effective. He caught a whiff of some of that, and it incapacitated him for a couple of minutes while we were going live there during our 9 o'clock news hour. All right, Tyler Fingert is now driving there in Tillman's Corner. We're seeing a lot of police lights, Tyler. Have you been able to figure out exactly what is going on there? Okay. Tyler apparently cannot hear us right now, but he is driving around the Tillman's Corner area right there off the interstate. There's a Lowe's there, there's a Walmart there, there are restaurants in that area, other businesses. And from what we understand from police, as the people were dispersed from that parking lot there in the shopping area there at Airport and I-65, many people did go home. Others decided apparently to fan out around other areas of Mobile. And so that's what MPD is doing right now, is they're just trying to work the different areas where they're hearing that there may be people, some people that may be up to no good. But Tyler, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you,
okay, good.
Byron.
Yeah. So tell us where you are right now and tell us what you're seeing, please.
So I just moved across the street from the Walmart. I just need to move the camera around now that I am back in a parking where I'm parked. But we are over by the Zaxby's in Tillman's Corner. If you're familiar with this area, it's right in front of the Lowe's. You can see there are several police here. We were hearing multiple times where police units were saying that they were being called out here. It said Zaxby's, and we're talking about Zaxby's is what we were hearing. And there were several police officers here up until just a couple of moments ago. I'm not sure if what exactly happened. Let's see if I can just move around and get a different view for all of you guys. But they're not sure what actually is going on, but apparently there was something here which required several police officers. Now there's just one. I'm not sure if it was just a meetup here. You can see there's multiple people. Now that I'm back in a parking spot again, I can just show you this.
Looks like there's a crowd
here, and
gathered there in that parking lot.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 cars here, but only one police officer. So the ones that were here, it does appear left. So I'm not sure if this is still something considered active, but a hood is up here. So they may be trying to do it may just be something with a car. This may be nothing
Sure.
related to the situation, but there is still a police officer on scene here. And up until you guys took my shot here and started tossing to me, there were multiple police officers here. They have since left.
All right, so possibly nothing to this scene right here. Maybe just kids gathering to show off their cars. I know that still happens around the Mobile area. Maybe this is one of those situations, but there was an officer that was approaching this group, and then he turned and walked away. So we're not sure exactly what's going on, but like you said, one car has a hood up, and there may be some engine trouble there, or maybe somebody trying to jump somebody off. But you know, for right now, things look pretty calm right there.
Yeah, in the Tillman's Corner area, I'm going to just reverse out of here since it does not appear to be anything to it as of now. But the Tillman's Corner area pretty much has police throughout it, but not very many crowds of people. So it doesn't appear like it was about an hour ago over along the belt line, along I-65 in the airport area, where you had throngs of people, lots of people driving around there. That is really not the case here in Tillman's Corner. And it does appear, and this is something I'm still waiting for a response from MPD about, it does appear there was a plan of some sort for MPD to scatter throughout the city to have their officers in places to protect certain areas or make their presence known so people don't try anything. That it does appear that way, where they have several officers over here and several officers in another area. And you saw an officer turn on his lights there. But it's definitely a very fluid situation right now throughout the city for MPD. They may get a call from somebody saying that there is a lot of people in one location, which would prompt several MPD units maybe to head in that direction just to check it out. And it's nothing, and it's just and it may turn out to be nothing.
Sure.
So they are probably continuing to do that throughout the evening. And as this continues, just because there is a call that says, hey, something may be going down, a concerned citizen may be calling, and that's probably a sign that there are people scattered throughout the city. But MPD definitely out in force. I mean, pretty much everywhere you go, you can't go maybe a few minutes without seeing a blue light on, which is very bizarre in a city like this. I've never seen that, especially in Mobile. I've never seen an area where you could drive and look all around, and within a minute or two you will see another police officer.
Well, especially
so
at
they
11
are scattered
o'clock.
around. They are making their presence known.
Yeah, especially at almost 11:15 on a Sunday night in Mobile, Alabama. You know, you just don't see this. But MPD, Sheriff's Office, other law enforcement agencies being hyper vigilant during this time and wanting to make sure that they are protecting and serving the community of Mobile. And as long as there are people out there that possibly were associated with the protest downtown, that may be up to no good around the area, they're just wanting to make sure that they are doing all they can do to make sure that the community is safe and secure for tonight. All right, Tyler Fingert, I'm assuming you're heading back this way?
I was heading back towards the Tillman's Corner area. I thought I had seen several police officers go that way, but I was mistaken. So I'm heading back towards the Tillman's Corner area, towards that Walmart where there are several officers over there, just to stay over in that area in case something would pop up.
Sure. Our Tyler Fingert reporting live in our mobile unit there as he is continuing to cruise the area and bring you updates. Of course, Michael Warwick and Morella Porter also on the scene for us tonight as well. Fox 10 News with crews just about everywhere in the Mobile area as we continue to follow these breaking news stories all over the area. And of course, we're going to be leaving the air here as far as our news is concerned over the air. But of course, you can continue to follow us on fox10tv.com, and we will be updating there as well as on our mobile app. I'm Byron Day. Thanks so much for staying with us. We wish you a very good night. We return now to our regularly scheduled programming.